For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Nice to have you along. My name's Paul Dingeman. You are at the beginning of the week when I get the opportunity to go to the world famous rooftop sit rally, they call it. I'm going to be on top of the Michigan Mutual building this coming Wednesday the 19th. Tune in to WSAQ radio between 1 and 2. I need your money. But I can't be any more simple than that, can I? Joining me now from Detroit Edison, Stephanie Beerus. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Welcome to the Focus Set.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
You are going to be here for the next period of time to tell us about great things that are happening with Detroit Edison. Before you start, though, I want to be part of the community that says thank you to Detroit Edison for the years and years and years that they've supported St. Clair County, Marine City, St. Clair cities and the townships surrounding with employees and families and just great things that they've done for us. And now you've got some exciting news.
We do, and thank you for that kind gesture. All the 10,000 employees that work at our company throughout the state are more than happy to take that back. I'll take that back to them,
Good.
I should say. And we've been a part of the St. Clair community for, 6-7 decades now, and we're happy to be extending that tenure by building a new, what we call a combined cycle gas plant or a natural gas plant on our Bell River property over in East China Township.
We've been reading about it, we've been hearing about it, but it's almost ready to start. You are going to go through a little PowerPoint for us here today and briefly tell us some of the exciting news. You got a meeting coming up. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, we do. So with the exciting news, we recently broke ground, and we'll kind of look at how we got to this point so everyone can understand why we made the decision that we did to build this gas plant. But on Tuesday, September the 25th, from 4 to 8 p.m. at Marine City High School.
Oh, Marine City High School.
Marine City High School, so really close by. We are going to be having a community open house. So we want folks to come out, talk to us about the gas plant, talk to us about our renewable energy, talk to us about what we're doing in the community. So there's a lot of different things that we're going to be offering that afternoon and evening, and we want to have a dialogue. We want people to come out and get their feedback on things.
You told me before we started there might even be some retirees, and it'll be sort of like a homecoming for a lot of people.
It will be, yeah. We hope a lot of our retirees can come out and learn a little bit more about it, because a lot of their history with the company has been coal-based, and now we're kind of moving into this new shift into a new era of energy production where that diversification started, and the gas plant's kind of the first big symbolic way to do that here in St. Clair County.
Well, let's get into your PowerPoint.
Let's do it.
And you can, we'll throw it up there. Peter, there you go. There we go.
So just to kind of provide some perspective, forgive me, the clicker has got the best of me here today. So a lot of times we like to look at, when we were trying to go through this process, which has taken probably about 10 years with research and analytics and modeling and all of those different, and lots of benchmarking. We are big on benchmarking, as you well know. We looked at what would it take to kind of diversify our fuel mix, right, or our energy production mix. And it's kind of like when you have an old car. You've got a 10-year-old car. How much more money are you going to put into it to keep it going? When is the time to buy that new car? So when we were trying to help people understand what was happening, we thought this was a fitting way to kind of help tell that story, and the graphic that you see on the screen kind of helps to do that.
Okay.
And next, you kind of look at what we have in store. So essentially, over the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot of transition from our coal plants. We've already announced that we are going to be retiring Trenton, River Rouge, and St. Clair. And by 2030-ish, Bell River will be retired from coal, and then by 2040, Monroe, which is our largest power plant, will be retired. So how are we going to make all of that generation up? Well, it's going to be through a combination of natural gas power plant, which we're, like as you said, broke ground on recently, renewable energy, as well as our nuclear facility that we still have down in Monroe. So it's going to be a little bit of a different mix going forward. And it brings us to kind of why we're here today. So the new Blue Water Energy Center, as we call it, in East China Township.
Blue Water Energy Center.
Blue Water Energy Center, that's what we're calling it. Yes,
name.
it's we thought it was very fitting given the area. And it kind of signifies where we're going with cleaner sources of energy. So we really like that. The rendering on the screen kind of gives you an idea of what that center is going to look like. So it's a combined cycle gas turbine, and what that is it's a plant that basically runs on gas and uses steam to generate electricity.
Steam, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So it's going to be very clean. It has a lot fewer emissions than coal. It's a lot more efficient than coal. And it gives us the ability to meet a environmental goal of reducing our carbon emissions 80% by 2050.
Wow, that's quite a reduction.
It is. It's pretty significant. It's going to be a big source in helping us do that.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Go back one more. And so one other thing just to mention, we have continued our renewable investment, as you see from the map on the screen. We've got wind parks, solar parks, different agreements with folks all across the state, primarily in the Thumb and mid-Michigan, because that's where the best wind is. But we have invested $2 billion over the last 10 years.
$2 billion.
$2 billion with a B.
Wow.
Billion with a B in our renewable energy capacity. So we're up to about 12% of our portfolio right now. And under the new energy legislation that passed in 2016, we've got to be at 15% by 2021. So you'll slowly see those incremental growth in solar and in wind and a little bit of hydro, which we have out on the west side of the state. So that's kind of where we're going with our renewable energy.
Okay.
Additionally, we're going to use a lot more natural gas. We have our Nexus pipeline that's starting to come into Michigan, should be complete by the end of September, which is great. We're actually right on schedule. And that gas pipeline allows us to actually store the commodity at a lower price, which saves our customers money, which will be an important piece into the overall mix.
Okay. That's coming out of Pennsylvania?
It is, out of the shale kind of mountains in Pennsylvania.
Up through Monroe, and that line is not built yet?
It is built.
Oh, it is built?
Yep, it is built. Everything should be completed, and it should be operational in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then in addition to the generation that we're building, we're also improving our infrastructure. So when I say infrastructure on the electric side, that's poles and wires and substations. On the gas side, it's your pipes and your mains. So you're going to see our crews out in the service territory doing work to help make the system harder, to make it more resilient, to prevent outages from happening, and to increase reliability for our customers.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize or don't remember that DTE took over Michigan Consolidated Gas Company
correct.
a number of years ago, so now you're in both gas and electric.
We are,
and
yeah.
have been for a while.
We have been for a while, yeah. A lot of our gas customers are on the west side of the state, so kind of along the Lake Michigan coastline. We do have some customers in Hamtramck and in the city of Detroit that do have gas and electric service through us. But yeah, it's been about, I think, gosh, 17 years.
Yeah,
2001,
yeah.
2003-ish was the time frame where that merger happened. So we've got them both.
Yeah.
And so kind of the reason, I'm going to skip through these, because the reason we're here today is really to look at that gas plant. And
That's
so
quite a picture.
That's quite a picture. So this is a computer rendering of what the gas plant's going to look like. You can see the statistics at the bottom of the page where it shows the difference in generation. You're looking at kind of an equal generation to Bell River currently. St. Clair, it's about equal to as well. So we'll be able to kind of make up for that closure that we're expecting. And as we go through, because of the efficiencies with this plant, we're going to actually have fewer employees working it. So what that always led to was, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to those that are still at St. Clair or at Bell River? Well, Bell River is still going to have to run, so Bell River is okay. St. Clair, between the retirements that we know we have coming and other areas in the company we can cross-train people in, we're going to make sure everybody has a place to land once everything is up and running in the next 4 to 5 years.
Because as you alluded to at the beginning, Detroit Edison has been an employer in our counties and township for
decades.
Centuries.
Yeah.
Not centuries, but decades.
Yeah.
And so you are part of the family.
We are part of the family. We want to make sure we take care of that family.
Right.
So we've looked at all the ways where we can make sure folks have somewhere to land. If they want to retire, they're going to be able to have that option. If they want to learn how to work in a combined cycle gas plant, that's going to be an option too. So we're still working through the details of exactly how that looks, but we know that we're able to do it.
Quite a sight.
All right.
There you go.
And here are just a couple more stats on kind of where we're at in terms of timeline and where we can start to see some major activity happen. So we've got approval at the end of April of this year, ceremonial groundbreaking in August. You're gonna really start seeing activity around that M29 Puttigat Road, Meisner, kind of that area, probably in March. We're going to start doing some prep work now just to get the site ready to go before the ground freezes. We
Yep.
never know how long it's going to freeze for in
Right,
Michigan,
right,
as you
right,
all know.
right.
So we're going to start that work, but you're going to see major construction work, and you'll start seeing folks come in, like craft and tradesmen come in, probably at spring, summer of next year to start that work.
Okay.
And then we hope to be online and running by the second quarter of 2022. So it'll be here before we know it.
It's going to be a lot of new jobs.
So we're going to have about 500 new jobs
500.
in this process of building this plant. So
Wonderful.
we're really excited about that. We're excited about the impact it's going to have on the community here. And we're working with various groups to locally source things as much as possible. So as long as we've got the skills and abilities in the area, we don't see any reason not to use them.
Okay, very good.
And let's see.
Working part-time, that
It is.
clicker?
It's ready for the weekend too.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. There we go. And so kind of a couple of other things just to point out. We touched on the environmental side of things. In order for us to get to that carbon reduction goal, this plant's a big part of it because it reduces emissions significantly, creates efficiencies within the operational side, and it gives us what we call 24/7 generation. So a lot of folks want more renewable energy, and we like it too, but we have to understand on days where the sun doesn't shine and the
That's right.
wind doesn't blow,
Right.
it's hard to have solar and wind work effectively for the manufacturing-based economy we have here in Southeast Michigan. So we still need those 24/7 sources like a gas plant, like a nuclear plant, to be able to power our economy and give folks reliable energy.
Okay.
And these are just some
Wow, look at
images
that.
of, so it's a, this is kind of a cooler one. This is actually the turbine being built by General Electric. So General
Okay.
Electric is working on this for us, and essentially this is a jet engine.
engine?
Yeah, so that's what it's
Okay.
comparable to. It functions like a jet engine. It's quiet. A lot of questions we've had have been around noise.
Right.
So it's not going to be, it's basically ambient noise level, so about 50 decibels or less based on requirements we have to meet and based on what the equipment can do. So it's kind of cool to actually see it being built.
There's a man standing down in that picture in the forefront here, so you get a sort of an idea of how huge that engine is. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
substantial.
you've got one of those or two of those?
We have two.
Two.
So we'll have two. Combined cycle, we've got the
Okay.
two.
And they're there.
And here's the layout of where they are. So you've got your two, if you're looking at the screen to the left, those are going to be your two engines going forward. And then the right side of the screen are going to be your admin buildings and things of
Okay.
that nature.
All right.
So that's what we're going to have. So to your point earlier, we want the community to come out and talk to us about the plant. We are having an open house on Tuesday, the 25th of September, Marine City High School. Come for a little bit, come stay a while, whatever works for you that day, but we'd love to see folks out there.
So you'll probably have not a jet engine, but you'll have some drawings and some pictures of that people can walk up and touch and see and feel and get a better concept of what's going on.
Yeah, we'll have some larger imagery. We'll have some aerials to kind of give you a
good.
comparison of where everything is in the terms of the layout of the property that we have in East China and China, because both townships are right there. And we're trying to get some kind of miniature models of things in, so we're hoping to have those.
Oh, good. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, we're hoping to have those as well. We're still working through some of the logistics to
Right.
get everything here. That little hurricane is causing some problems of shipping some things, but.
The St. Clair Power Plant, as it exists today, what do you project will happen to that property, or is it too early?
It's too early to tell. At this point, we're still, 3 to 4 years out before it will even be closed down. So at that
So
point,
it's still generating
oh yeah,
power
it's
today.
still working today. Yep,
Okay.
it is working today. I think a few of the units may be offline, but for the most part, it is generating today and part of our overall energy sources.
Will we still see some freighters bringing coal after
You
the
will.
new gas plant opens?
You will, because Bell River still is going to need it. So
Okay.
we've got Bell River running till at least 2030. So you're still going to
One
have
of our
coal.
tourist attractions.
we will not deprive anyone of that. So, so yes, you'll still see some coal coming in. It'll just be a little bit less, given the fact that we're now supplying for one plant versus two. And logistically, how that's going to look, we haven't figured that out yet. So once we get the gas plant built, then we'll figure out if we need to adjust our track or our route more or less on the coal side.
Stephanie, we want to thank you for coming in and
Thanks for
telling the
having me.
people about what's going to happen.
Sounds great.
And we would like to extend an invitation to you that as the progress comes along, please come back and share with us anything you want to share.
We'd love to. And
Okay.
then one other thing, people can go to empoweringmichigan.com/Blue Water to do exactly what you just said. Keep up on the project. We're going to update our blog and put some great information up there. So we'll keep you updated on this, and we'd love to come back and keep everyone else updated too.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much.
Detroit Edison, Regional Manager for Government and Corporate Affairs. We're glad she's now in the area, and we certainly will have her back. Coming up next, the St. Mary's Fall Festival is going to start, and we've got some ladies who are going to tell us all about a big white elephant sale. We'll be right back. It's almost the end of September already, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because St. Mary's Catholic Church on 6th Street and Vine in St. Clair is having their marvelous, fantastic, worldwide accepted Fall Festival. Deborah Majeski, welcome back to the Focus Set.
Thank you.
Chris Nesbitt, nice to see you, darling.
Good to see you,
nice
Paul.
to see you. And Helen Bixler, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Ladies, talk to me about Fall Festival 2018.
This is going to be an exciting time. It's our 44th annual.
No.
Yes.
44th.
Can you believe?
No, I don't.
It's just amazing. So it's going to be September 28th, 29th, and 30th. And it's going to be right here at St. Mary's Parish. It's going to be a carnival. It's going to be a beer tent. We're going to have a white elephant sale that we're going to share more information about. We're going to have a lot of things to do for the young and for the middle-aged and for the old.
Okay.
So it's a real
Equal Opportunity Fun Fest.
Absolutely. It's a melting pot for everybody. It's not
Yeah.
just St. Mary's parishioners, it's all of St. Clair. Last year, I heard from one person who was visiting, they came from Ohio. They
Really?
come every year. So it's just one of those events that they love to come to St. Clair, they love to be near the water, and to just see what we have.
And it's sort of like a homecoming for a lot of people, too.
It is, truly is, yes.
Kids go away and get jobs in other states, but they come home for the festival.
That's exactly it, yes. So if I go through some of the events, so we're going to be opening up the event actually on Friday night at 4 p.m. So that's going to be all of the tent activities are opening along with the beer tent. We're going to have a craft table, a bake table, and then we have some dinners, which we're going to have Chris talk about here. But that's going to be
She's
Friday.
cooking them.
Chris is going to have her finger in it, I think, And so then what we have, on Saturday, we're going to actually open up our whole program at 12 o'clock, and that goes till midnight.
Wow.
So when you think about, we have a lot of things to do during the day between the White Elephant Sale and all the things that are going on in the big tent, but then we have a special event for the young kids. And so we're going to actually have Robin, who is one of our teachers at the school. She's going to be working with these kids and having some activities. So it's free. It's, we're going to have face painting and carnival rides and all of that all weekend. So it's really going to be a fun opportunity for anybody in the family.
Mm-hmm. Super.
Yeah. So let's talk about the food. Chris, why don't you share
I'm
with
hungry.
us? Yeah, what we're going to have.
What are you cooking, kid?
Friday night, we have Renee McCormick, who did our Lenten fish fry. She did a phenomenal job. So her and her crew are back on Friday night from 4 to 7 for the traditional St. Mary's fish fry.
Okay.
And then Sunday from noon until 6, we have the famous Ackett's chicken dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then we have Dave Holden and Sharon and Ron Lukasak running our concession stand this year. They did a fantastic job last year, and they've got great food.
Okay.
And so,
You do a nice job.
yeah.
And Helen, what's your job? You got the big elephant.
Yes, the white elephant. I'm really excited about it this year because it's grown more from last year. And this is my second year of chairing and working with this. And I'm really amazed at how the parish and all the volunteers, they just want to come in and just help. And all the donations that we've received, it's just really awesome. And I'm excited.
The White Elephant Sale used to be in a big tent outside,
Yes,
but you've moved it now
Yes, it's in the
inside
gym.
the gymnasium, which is
Yes.
probably a great idea.
Yes.
Because you
it's in
can
the
prep
gym.
it and do it.
Mhm.
You guys brought along a bunch of pictures, and Peter's going to throw them up here on the back screen, and you can talk us through them
Yeah.
about the White Elephant Sale.
Because we've got a couple of pre-sales that are taking place
Oh,
that we
okay.
want to really tell the community about.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
You got those, Peter? There. No, that's not. We're going to get to that picture too. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Right.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
So we have a variety of donations, and we have it's all kinds of things for children. There's lots of dolls, different toys, antiques.
Look at the lines of
Yes,
stuff
we
you've
have
got.
everything all just
And the whole
organized.
gymnasium
Yeah,
Keep going
it's-
through them. Look
yeah.
at that. Look
I'm
how
just
clear
amazed
that-
at the things.
Those
that
are
we've
brand new.
received. Yes, some really very
Oh,
nice
look at the
things.
furniture.
Yep, first time this year we have antiques that were donated and given, and we're going to be having a pre-sale this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 6. It's just going to be the furniture.
Okay.
And then the Thursday before the festival, we're going to have, once again, the pre-sale, a $5 admission.
Be about the 27th.
27th, yes.
Okay.
From
Wow, hold that
12
picture for a minute.
to 4.
Look at all the
Yes,
stuff you've got.
yes. We just there's some really-
Donations.
yes.
These are donations.
Amazing.
From the community, and they've
From the
done,
community.
the community's been very generous this year.
Couches.
Yep.
Is that Father Ritter's picture back there?
No, we have various categories, and that's a religious section that we have
Okay.
over there. And we have, next to that, there's a Christmas.
That's a
section.
slide of too big. Okay, what do you got next there? One more picture? Oh, the rides.
Yes,
Okay.
outside rides.
Yeah.
And
So
what?
that's gonna be filled with the carnival. So you're gonna have the Ferris wheel, you're gonna have the big boat, you're gonna have a lot of games for the kids to play.
Go-karts.
Go-karts, yeah, so it's gonna be a really good opportunity. It's gonna be out there in the backfield
Okay.
of the school.
Let's go back to that first picture, Peter, of the Mass. Talk to me, Deborah, about that.
Father Michael Zelch is the one who has really transformed our parish when we look at traditional type services. This is a Mass, this is the altar servers, and we have at least 15 altar servers that
Wow.
are actually now participating, and they know the process so well. We have also done Latin Masses now on Saturdays. So the congregation is really beginning to open up and understand the Mass more. They're actually learning to understand the importance of the Eucharist. So Father Michael is really helping our entire parish and our community understand the importance. So here's an opportunity for everybody who is going to be coming to the festival to maybe join us for 4:30 Mass on Saturday. Or
Will
we
it be
have-
in Latin?
No, that will
Oh,
not.
okay.
That's Saturday morning Mass usually
Okay.
is on Latin.
All right.
But then 4:30 Mass in the evening, and then we have 8:30 and 11:30 on Sunday. So it's a great opportunity for if someone is coming in who is maybe not Catholic, or if they are Catholic, come join us and see, what we have to offer at
very
St.
good.
Mary's.
All right.
And then we also have Deacon John Fitzmaurice. He's there with us. He's a community member. He used to be the principal of our school. He just retired. So it's just a great opportunity to have someone right within our own community to be our deacon.
Well, it's September the 28th through the 30th. It's absolutely free.
Yes.
Lots of stuff going on. White Elephant Sale, Antique Show the 15th and the 16th, pre-sale, and 1 to 6:30, no admission fee for that. And then there's a pre-sale on September 27th with a $5 admission fee, which is not bad. Then you get
No,
to pick out
you get the
what
first
you
pick.
want.
Yes.
And
that was very
it's just
popular.
a fun weekend, and as you alluded to at the beginning, it's like a homecoming.
Right, and one of the highlights of the festival is our live music.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
we've got Dave Lenarski
Yep.
and Rivertown Gents playing Friday night from 7:30 to 11:30. And then on Saturday night, we have the Revivers.
Okay, they're
Todd
great.
Todd
2 young
Armstrong
men.
and Brandon Pavlo.
Yeah.
So they'll be there playing Saturday night. And
Good.
then Sunday, of course, we wrap everything up with our polka band.
Got to have a polka
yeah,
band. or
Ray,
it's not a
Ray
festival.
Gobert, Ray
Right.
Gobert, he kind of
Deborah knows all the
wraps it up.
numbers.
Yeah.
Well, and we have a larger dance floor this
This year,
year, so we got to take advantage of that.
Yes. One thing we do want to mention also, there's a pre-sale for the wristbands.
Oh,
for the
yes,
rides.
yes, yes.
So, for any family members who may have multiple kids and they want to make sure that they try to have that opportunity of discount, we will be actually selling those at the school, and then it's on our flyer, it actually notes those dates and times, because actually the day of the event, it's $20 instead of $15
So I have the wristbands
at the school.
at
At
the
the
school
school.
now, so
Okay.
come and see me.
329-4150.
Correct.
And then one other thing, if I could just add that we're adding that's really new and different, and that is
Night fever.
the night fever. Maybe you
Yeah.
can share that,
Night
Helen.
Fever it's a really great opportunity. It's Saturday night from 8 to 10, just to go into the church, sit and just pray before the Lord.
Oh, my God. That's pretty cool.
The Eucharist will be exposed, so you can have adoration, and Father will be there for confessions
Wow.
as well.
That's
And
pretty
it's just
cool.
going to be a very nice,
Yeah,
I've
something.
experienced it. It's just a really nice time.
Brings it
to
all
spend
home. So
quietly.
you're having
It-
fun
it-
and
yeah,
raising
with the
money
Lord.
and drinking
Yes.
beer, but you can still
Go to confession.
go
Go
to
to
confession.
confession.
Go to
Okay,
confession.
I should not have had that other beer.
There you go. Father Mike will be there to hear it all.
Right. But you know, the other thing too, you know, how did this come together? This didn't just come together with a small committee. It really took an army of people from our community and from our parish to help us, you know, organize, donate, and make sponsorships, right? So it really is our best opportunity, and it's our main fundraising event for our parish. So we really appreciate anything that anybody can do. If they want to just buy one item in the White Elephant, or, you know, if they want to buy raffle tickets. So our raffle ticket actually changed this year. We're actually upped it. We have first prize at $6,000.
Okay.
And we have a second prize at $500, and then we have 3 prizes at $250. So this year, you know, we're actually, you know, raising the bar in regards to the raffle tickets. So, and they're $5 instead of $1 this year.
Okay.
And we've got really a good welcoming of changing that from $1 to $5.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't too bad. You did great.
Thank you.
Very good.
First timer?
Ms. Chris.
Paul,
Sir?
thank you again.
Not a
Appreciate your
problem,
time.
not a problem.
And thank you for the station.
Also going on this fantastic weekend of the Fall Festival, during Saturday, there's a big event called Whistles on the Water and Chalk the Walk. We'll hear about that next from Mr. Michelson. We'll be right back.
How do I look? Is this my
There's
good?
that's your good
Is this my
side.
good side?
We're going to get
Yeah,
your good
let's
side in
get
a minute,
into my
but look
good
at my
side.
good side over here. What is this? This is a whistle from the Great Lakes steam fleet when the boats had steam on them, and this young man was the Dave Michelson was shoveling coal into the bins.
That's right. That's right. As one of our earlier speakers here today was talking about the future,
Right?
I'm here to talk about taking a look back into the past,
Okay, all right.
into the early stages of steam.
Steam, she was saying that steam is going to provide power for all southeastern Michigan with the new Detroit Edison plant. And you're saying steam did other things too.
Steam's been around for a long time. Technology has changed. In the case of the steam whistle came about as a necessity for communication
Oh, okay.
on steamships.
Okay.
Our Great Lakes at one time, believe it or not, were just crowded with all different sizes and purposes of vessels. They did not have radio. They didn't have really any other means other than their voices to speak, and that didn't work very well. So the steam whistle came about in the early 1800s, and this was the means of all types of communication between ships to shore, and it was not only ships, it was factories, locomotives, all kinds of streetcars, everything.
So,
So steam whistles were, once upon a time, if you were a resident in St. Clair a century ago, this was a continuous sound. For residents living here, they have no idea what the St. Clair River once sounded like.
it had to be busy.
It was very, very busy and
We
very
hear
noisy.
we hear it every once in a while when there's fog, and there's a number of ships, but that's got to be just a minute little piece of what it used to be like.
Right, and they're not whistles, those are horns.
That's right. That's right.
We have not had an operating steam whistle on the Great Lakes in more than 20 years.
Mm.
The last one was on the cement carrier St. Crapo. She's since been retired. So, you know, the sound of a steam whistle is non-existent anymore, except for here in downtown St. Clair on the 29th of September. You have an opportunity for your ears to go to the past and hear the voices of the great ships.
10th anniversary of this event.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it. It's just a remarkable event, a very, very unique event. We have some. First, let's get to these pictures here.
We'll talk about the headliners this year.
Yeah.
Every year we got to have headliners.
Right, right.
So this year we have actually 2 headliners.
Okay.
This being the primary one. This is the magnificent, unique whaleback passenger ship Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
Christopher Columbus was built expressly for the Columbian World's Fair Exposition in Chicago,
Oh my God.
which occurred in 1892, which celebrated the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus. discovering the New World.
Okay.
So this vessel was built by Captain Alexander McDougall, his patented design. It was the only one ever built, and in the course of its 40-plus year career, it carried more than 2 million passengers.
Oh my God.
A
So
very
you have the
popular-
whistle from that boat?
We have the whistle from
Wow.
that boat here, yes.
Okay.
And actually, it has not been heard in these parts, probably, it may never have been heard in these parts before. Christopher Columbus operated in Lake Michigan exclusively. So, to my knowledge, this ship never passed St. Clair. So what we may be doing here is a real piece of history in the fact that this will be the first time it's ever been heard.
Okay, what's the next picture?
Well, I think we have a couple others here. Move to the next.
Let me get to, there we go.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, here's the Christopher Columbus upon completion up at the McDougall Yard
Okay.
in Superior, Wisconsin, and you can see this unique design
Oh,
of the
yeah,
hull.
pretty unique.
This
Would that would have been steel?
that is steel, and the design is that it minimized the resistance of the ship through the water. There was a great deal of concern about the stability of this ship, and numerous testing that was done found the ship to be extremely stable, extremely good in rough weather, and that's part of what made it so popular.
Okay, what's the next picture?
And
oh,
okay, the next picture is the other ship that we will have the whistle from. This is our other headliner. This is the City of Erie.
look at all the people aboard.
Yep, the City of Erie is on what I believe to be one of her early, if not maiden, excursions.
Do you think the Coast Guard would be yelling at them for the excessive amount of people aboard?
You know, it's funny how back at that time regulations were a lot more lax. And City of Erie, however, was involved. Again, it was not a ship that would have been necessarily heard in St. Clair, but in the year 1901, it was involved with a very famous race against
okay.
a ship called the Tajmu.
Yes, right, I remember the Taj
The
Mahal.
White Star Line
Yeah.
and the Cleveland and Buffalo Line made a claim that they had the fastest ship on the Great Lakes. White Star Line referred to their ship as the White Flyer.
Right?
Well, people got together, money got involved, betting, everything
Just like
else.
the Super Bowl.
And we had the Super Bowl of Great Lakes races. We had a race between the City of Erie and the Tajmu, running from Cleveland to Erie.
Oh my God.
The City of Erie beat
The Taj
the
Mahal.
Tajmu
Ooh.
by a mere 40 seconds.
Oh.
So it was, from that kind of distance, I would have to call it almost a dead heat. But they got the bragging rights to being the fastest ship on the Great Lakes, and of course, every opportunity they had, they would stick their White Star Line's nose
Right,
in it. That
right. So David, you got a lot of history in your brain and in your psyche.
that's what they say.
That's what they say. And on the 29th, from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, you're going to be downtown St. Clair with
Correct.
an array, and if Peter will throw those other pictures up
Let's
and
see
just
what
sort
else-
of
let's see what else we
go
got
through
here
them
to,
here. We'll talk over the top of them, but there's
yes,
an array, but with a freighter going by in that
Yes,
picture.
one of the unique things about our event, which makes it, in my opinion, the
That's you.
premier event. Yes, there's yours truly operating one of the whistles. We do contact. I personally, by radio, contact each passing ship, inform them what we're doing, and we get a salute. We exchange salutes. Here's an example of some of the whistles. Now, these are among the largest whistles that were ever made in the world. You have to realize that with the traffic and everything, everybody wanted to be heard. So the whistles on Great Lakes ships were very, very large.
That's you.
There's me again.
That's
Here's our marvelous machine, and just to expand on again some earlier comments, our machine here is probably capable of about 1 megawatt of power.
Oh,
And the new Bell River power plant is 1,200 times bigger than this. We
Yeah.
are oil fired.
right.
We have a technology with our boiler that is very antiquated. We are a fire tube boiler with an expansion tank. The expansion tank is necessary because our boiler will process about 12 gallons of water per minute, turn it into steam. When I'm blowing these large whistles, quite often we are using more than 20 gallons
Oh,
per
my God.
minute.
Oh, my God. These are people watching, standing by?
One of the great things about this is it can be heard all over town. It's a free admission. There's lots that it can be done. You can shop, you can dine, you can look at the artistry of Chalk the Walk. Here we have another passing ship, a lot of fittings. But getting back to it, it's a great opportunity to come to St. Clair and experience what St. Clair would have sounded like 100 years ago.
There's so much love and work put into these.
Oh, some of
vessels.
these, some of these collectors, it's like their pride and joy. And we have collectors from all over the eastern United States who come. I should put a shout out for our crew. We have a
Yeah.
very, very dedicated crew. I have probably the easiest job all day long.
You have the fun job of pulling the whistle.
I flap my jaw all day and I pull the whistles. And I'll tell you what, the rest of these guys work their keisters off, getting this thing set up, changing out whistles.
There's a couple guys in particular, a young man by the name of Al Johnson.
Al Johnson is, without him, it's probably not possible. The other fellow is Dan Lockwood.
Right.
Dan Lockwood is a behind-the-scenes man in this, getting all of our ducks in a row with the city and everything else. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity of being here today to talk
Well,
to you.
I think it's important, the 10th anniversary, people have heard it now for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And if they've never experienced it up close and personal, and to hear you and the history, because by golly, you know the
Yeah.
word about every
Yeah.
whistle that blows.
I
And
study hard.
Yes,
I
you
study
really
hard.
do.
Just as a point two, we should have this year the entire boardwalk speaker system
Yes, you will.
hooked up, so my narration can be heard at a distance
All the way down to the Voyager.
boardwalk, all the way down to the Voyager. So if loud noises, which these are quite loud, and I'll also point out that free hearing
Yes,
protection is offered.
right.
So, and
It's just a
please,
wonderful, unique event.
please don't bring your pets.
Right,
Please don't bring your dogs. It's a cruel thing to do to your dogs.
right, right.
So,
Well,
but I'm looking forward to it. The weather gods have been so good to us over the years, and we've always attributed St. Mary's
Fall Festival.
as being the thing. We've got the Almighty on our side.
Dave, that's a
Paul.
great way to think of it.
Thank you.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Don't forget, that's a big weekend, the Fall Festival for St. Mary's and Whistles on the Water on Saturday the 29th. And we'll be back next week with more Focus. See you then. Paul Dingaman. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingaman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.